Hey y'all, welcome to a special edition of the Spotter's Guide. This is going to be a bonus episode because it's going to be a migration sort of deal, but for my tutorial area. I really couldn't come up with a good idea to do on the multiplayer server. We spent most of the night debugging some 132 stuff, so I still wanted to get out an episode. I thought that this might be enjoyable, so I'm going to just spend like a half an hour to an hour or so running around in a new single player map, and we'll see what we can find, start settling in, see if we can't pick up some seeds along the way, and just, get going back towards the tutorials, looking at your first day in the world, and getting things set up from there and stuff with the new terrain generation and everything that we find in 132. So just a note, these are the mods that I'm running. So we have, Mod Forward Loader, Mod Forward Loader, nice. Forge Mod Loader, Minecraft Forge. I have Ray's Minimap, Smart Moving, and of course Terra Firma Craft is now just stuck in the mod folder, so installation is unbelievably easy. I think that this will stop most people from asking me from doing an installation video, and the reason why I haven't done one is I use Fraps, and so far it is not able to record my desktop, so I can't actually show you the different applications that I'm clicking and dragging through and such. So anywho, there was my test world that I created earlier to make sure I did my installation. This is the original Spotter's Guide tutorial world that you saw me create a bit ago. What I'm actually going to do, though, is just create a new one. We're going to make sure that we're in survival. More world options. Generator, I believe we want to leave to default. I know super flat I think has some issues, so don't do that. Bonus chests I'm going to leave off. Allow cheats I'm going to leave off. And structures I'm also going to turn off. Again, this one shouldn't matter in Terra Firma Craft. I think they're off, like forced to be off, but just in case. So default, off, everything like that. Survival, and I'm going to call this, again, tutorial, T-U-T-O-R-I-A-L. I'm going to use a dash this time for Spotter's Guide, just so it won't conflict folder-wise with the other one. So we'll see how this goes. Downloading some terrain. Oh. Oh, oh, not good, not good. Whoa, haha, that's a heck of a start, eh? Alright, so first of all, you'll notice that the block in my hand was white. That is a gnome bug. But pretty cool. Looks like we've started in a plainsy foresty area. We got oak trees, I think. Got some loose stone around. Gonna make a we got some small bismuth. There we go. Granite. Yeah, I find a lot of granite so far in 132. Not that that's a bad thing. It's one of the harder rocks, so it'll last a while. Make some good tools. So it's actually a pretty good thing. Let's just start collecting stuff here as we go. 3 bismuth. So, might as well just start it up. Bismuth loose. Nope. I'm about to get a tingling message. There we go. Hold on one moment. There we go. I'll probably get a couple more messages. That's actually Biox. We were working on that bug I mentioned earlier that we were testing on. So I'm actually going to start heading towards the equator. With the new world generation, you can see that my coordinates are fairly high. I'm at about 10,000 or so. So another 10,000 in a northerly direction, bringing my total coordinates to negative 20,000, would get me into the Arctic Circle. So that's where the temperature is going to get cold and stay cold and just outright be cold. I'm actually looking to move to a bit of a warmer climate, so I want to start heading south towards the equator and such. Just gonna get some sticks to make some tools with. I'm also very tempted to go over there and kill that duck. Ah, chicken. Spy chicken. Yeah. Spy chickens? Spy chickens. Well, I have something very special for you guys. Do. Going to carve me up some chicken. I'm doing this mostly for the feathers, actually. A little bit of food, but mostly the feathers. That way I'll be able to make some arrows pretty easily. See some cows over here, and these guys I'm going to do in for the food. Oop. Out of there. Looks like he had the same initial entry into the game problem that I did. Oh, come back here, little cow. I don't want to hurt you. Stabby, stabby. We'll also make ourselves some leather armor. Get us a little bit of protection there, but look at that nice amount of food. So 1660. I'm definitely going to need an axe. There we go. And this is one of the things you're going to notice different if you've been playing Terra Firma Craft, is the effectiveness of stone tools in general has degraded. They still last an okay amount of time, but everything is a bit slower when you're actually using them. So chopping down a tree takes a bit longer. And you know, the focus in general is still to, like, you know, push you towards the metal tools and stuff like that. So this is a step in that direction. It's not going to stop me, however. Stone tools forever. Looks like I got like a row of trees over there. That's pretty cool. Anywho, let's get some planks going. Oh, ashwood, cool. And why did I want that? Oh yeah, armor. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So we get that. That. I used to have a pattern where I could get at least 3 of the pieces all at the same time. There we go. Let's take the bench with us for now, save us from having to chop down a lot of trees. I'm also looking for wheat seeds as we go. I do want to focus on wheat for farming and such right now. I thought I saw sheep in one of these directions. A bed would be nice. We got about half the day gone, and zipping through the night as we do a little bit of travel would be a good thing. So the chickens don't seem to move very much right now. I'm not sure if they're still bugged or whatever. I mean, you hit them, they can clearly move. They just seem to stand still a little bit afterwards, is all. I actually do want to kind of stay awake during the night too, though, as I would like some string so I can make a bow. So we're gonna still collect enough stuff for a bed, however, crossing the river here. Yeah. Oop, come back. 1, 2. It's the swinging wildly that actually damages your tools faster, believe it or not. When they're red like that, they're actually invulnerable. I learned that playing the Aether mod. One of the first bosses in the bronze dungeons is the slider, which is a giant block that does not like being mined. And I found out that they're invulnerable when they're actually glowing red like that, and you would just be wasting your pick, and you know, some people would go through like 2 or 3 picks just trying to kill that thing without realizing it only actually took like, you know, 10, 14 hits or something like that, but only if you waited for it to stop flashing red. So we're up to 50 feathers. Each feather is 8 arrows, so that's about 400 arrows right there. It's now 464, which is a good amount of arrows in my opinion. It's a shame, I really like this area too. Wish this was a little more warm. But we're going to look for more temperate climate. Another thing I wish is that the like the river biomes. It'd be really neat if like the rivers just actually ran for miles on end, so you could find one and then start, you know, navigating the river systems and such. Might be a neat thing to put on the suggestion forums, since terrain is a hot topic since the 1.3.2 release. Some spread out pine trees, a little bit of birch. And I'm burning through my food pretty quick. How we doing? I'm heading south, so yeah, west is that way. 2/3 of the day, maybe 3/4 of the day is pretty much over. Looks like we got a couple of different types of dirt here. Try not to burn through all my hunger. Let's see what stones we got here. Still looking for that wheat seed. Just doing what you gotta do. Looks like the river's picking back up again. If there was just a way to be guaranteed a certain amount of distance with those, I would actually, you know, just go and make myself a boat and just start heading downstream. There we go, I should definitely, yeah, stack and plus 11. So we got quite a ways to go. I think I'm going to aim maybe about 5,000-ish. Just see what the terrain looks like around there. So I am going to be stopping somewhat soon. We'll cook up some food. I'll get more than one fire pit going so we cook it up pretty fast. I just want to do it in a semi-safe location. I also would like a few more sticks, so we'll start chopping these down. It's like, you know, the one time I'm not looking for saplings. I think I've seen a few drop already. Not interested in setting up a home quite yet. More of a camp. So we got, might as well take the wood. Boy, hickory is hard. Sticks, 22. Alright, raw steak time. Whoa. Whoa! Give me back my crafting bench. I gotta try that again. That was pretty cool. I guess I had just barely destroyed the leaves and then clicked it up there. So a little bit of raw food here. Stop me from starving. Now we'll just get a couple more sticks. Actually going to move that there so I can see how many. I'm aiming for like half a stack of sticks. You know, I'll use probably about half of that in creating some fire pits. Cook off some food, make a couple of torches. Then we can be on our merry. Oop, saw a zombie over there for a moment. See if we can't find a lower tree to do this with though. And there we go. We'll get rid of these saplings once we're all said and done. That way we're not carrying around extra stuff. Aspen. Maybe we'll keep the aspen trees. You know, actually since the trees, well, I'm not looking to start a forest anytime soon. Since the trees can be few and far between, let's go up there, down there, ta-da! It might be better to keep a couple of saplings of some of the woods that I like to build with and such around for just such a thing. And there, we are now safe. Going to use my shovel. I do know that if a creature is walking over my head, it could at any moment it so desires crumble my ceiling down upon me. But for now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll just make a fire starter. See if we can't light some fires. There we go, got all three. Nice. So I'm gonna focus on cooking the steaks first. And we're gonna use some of our chestnut and hickory. I swear I had hickory. Nope, I guess it was the chestnut. Haha. Okay, let's get some stuff burning. There we go. Now we can cook steaks at 3 times the speed. This should give us a really nice stack of steaks. We can just sprint during the day and even during the night and not have too much worry about it. 1, 2, 3. See if we can't get lucky with a... Nope. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And I'm gonna start cooking some torches in there. So steak, 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 and torch. Ash, torch, torch, torch. Very hot. Nice. So 4 gets us to hot. We'll say that would have been 6 or 7, 8, 9, 9. Oops. Cooking the flour. So 1, oh, I only got 8 left. This will start cooking some steaks too. So I'm not exactly sure what we'll run into. We might need some torches to kind of light the way. It's always good to have a few of these on hand. Steak, steak, steak. Bismuth. If I had some molds, I'd actually spend the time to melt that down. I wouldn't mind picking up enough of this to make a sword or something while I'm traveling. Oops, I meant to stick more steak in, not take the steak out. Get the wood in there. Okay, I apparently heated up the torch. That's interesting. So there is a spider above my head. Don't know if this will stop the cave-in checks, but it's at least worth a try. Okay. Actually, I should only have 32. How did I am all mixed up. Okay, there we go. Just keeping it simple. Cooking steaks, that's all I care about right now. Actually, sunrise, cool. Last round of steaks. Let that one cook a bit. 19, 27. That is a good amount of steak. So I'll have 29 all said and done. Might as well let that burn. There we go. No, guess that should be. Oh, there we go. Finally cooled off. Let me make another axe here, or two. I'm just going to keep these around because axes are pretty good weapons. They're also very handy tools. So it might not be a bad idea to have a couple. Just in hand waiting. Because that is definitely a spider above my head. I would like a bow and arrow. One string, yay! Die, spider! Oh. Get you with the fire starter. Oh, can't light him on fire. Wish I could. Let's move that where we're gonna eat him. Oh, I took all my handles. Okay, come on, drop 2 string for me, buddy. Going very slow. Yes, nice. So, we are going to stop for a moment, arm ourselves, as soon as we actually get some more sticks. How quickly I do forget. Eat up so we can heal up. I'd rather carry 64 sticks than waste a slot on 2 almost used up sticks. It's gotta be the chestnut. Alrighty, sticks. So there are some axes. And next up will be a bow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. After that, we will get a nice stack of arrows. Nice stack of gabbro arrows. There's 40 of those. Maybe a couple of granite too. 56. 64. So, we are once again off into a southerly direction. And now I'm not going to stop or anything. When we get to a nice looking location in about 2,000 meters, which I'm going to fast forward through, all will be set. So I'll talk to you guys in a few moments. Alright guys, I think I'm going to just call this home. I know I'm about 1,500 or so blocks away from where I actually wanted to be. And I do hear flowing water from that block, I guess. But I like this. I got a little bit of a box canyon, even though it looks kind of evil with two eyes up there and such. A little bit of jungle down there, plains for a farm over in that area. I think that this is going to be a pretty good start to where we can build. So I'm just going to take a little time. I'm definitely glad I brought some saplings with me, because I don't think any of the trees here are actually going to give me any. Let's put that there. Let's take care of this guy. This is gabbro, so, or well, you know, I don't entirely know it is gabbro. The little blocks down there are trying to tell me that it is. Oh, things are just spawning all over. That is why I brought these. Anti-spawning, go. Almost gone. I see you chasing me, creeper. Not gonna help ya. Whoa. Gabbro is definitely more important. Got some more. Ah, there's a little floating water bay. It's not entirely safe, but a pretty good safe spot here. I think what I'm going to do is take my 3 and my 3 and say home sweet home. Ta-da! Things are on fire, that's a good sign. Here's our saplings that we have in weight. I do think a forest is going to be the first key thing we do. And that's what this was, this foliage here. A little bit of jungle tree. How are we doing? 35 arrows, not too bad at all. So this is where we'll be building. We have some water. We'll need that for both farming and sluicing. We'll want to start, like, I'm not really sure if gabbro is a proper rock to get any starter metals in, but I can be hopeful. So let's go over to where there's a nice place of dirt. Got some cows up there, that's good, that's good. Oh, what do I got? 3 between them? 1, 2, 3. There's a nice row of them. We got the one odd guy out. We'll stick him there. Just so happens that it also updates the block. There we go. Got our nice tree farm started. Alrighty, spider. I need string. Normally I would kill sheep for this and then turn their wool into string, but that's just not what's possible right now. The reason I need string, if you're wondering, is that I want to have enough string on hand to make a fishing pole, you know, just in case food becomes an issue while I'm doing this. And let's take a top down on these trees here. So I'm pretty sure these are copac. I would have thought they would have been more purple than that. Ow. Yeah, that was a steep place to jump. Ooh. I like this. This is like the smallest 2x2 tree I have ever seen in my life. So it just goes up, it's one set of branches, poof, done. Eventually the vines will grow and that'll be a neat little thing to play with, so I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see exactly what type of trees we should be expecting here. I also want to go and hit the plains up over there, see if I can't find any fruit trees and snag some fruit off of them. That would be handy. Yep, it is copac. So yeah, if I cut those down, I should just cut those down. Get us some wood for our initial crafting and such. Yep, got an aspen over there. Collect some sticks. You know, just do the normal startup stuff. I'll have to do something about these weird pitfalls. I've noticed a lot of the ground actually looks like this, and it's always been my theory. This has been like the unknown Minecraft bug forever. But it's my theory that that is actually the cave generation system stripping out the topsoil for a cave. All the other stripping routines in the code, like, you know, like making ravines, or no, not ravines. I think it's ravines. Anywho, all the other routines, like the cave, the little lakes, lava pools, things like that, will generally replace something that was dirt that they're narrowing out with dirt. So when you, or with grass, I mean. So when you see the dirt, it's usually something. I've always thought it was the caves, at least. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to make a house out of this stuff. My thoughts right now are chests for storage. So, go back. Nope, we'll use the currently breaking one. Should give us, what, 6 chests? Not too shabby. How we doing, Sunrise? We're doing good. Seeds go down here. We'll get ready to do some farming and such in a fairly soon episode. I'm gonna put miscellaneous and monster drops in here. That includes food, leather, feathers, bones, rotten meat, you name it. It goes in there. Crafting and smithing materials for now are just going to go in this last one here. You know, just things I need that. That goes in here. So there we are. Not too terribly long of an episode, especially with that little zippy part. So I'm guessing around a half an hour or so. But this will be a restart for the Spotter's Guide tutorials, so that I can do the tutorials. We can get caught up, we can start doing our charcoal pits, we can start doing some actual farming, we can do some raising of the animals and such. It's nice to see how docile and such they are. We can do a little bit more exploring around here. I'd love to find a pumpkin, just because I like pumpkins. They're always like just a neat thing to randomly come across in the world. We are sitting on some gabbro, so that happens to be one of my favorite rocks for the base textures and such. So we'll start doing some sort of a construction and build. I might do that a little bit offline, like I did last time. Just start building a little house, probably. Actually, most definitely, it's going to be right up here. I'll probably trim off the layer of dirt, go down to a nice flat thing of stone, and I mean, this just looks like the place to build, you know? So I hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with a more complete episode and such. Maybe we'll even do some 132 testing. I see that a build 49F was actually put up when I was in the middle of recording this, so I'm eager to see how things go from there. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.